Well, hello, friends and neighbors. John, your whiskey neighbor here, and welcome back to the Whiskey Nook. It's Sunday, so I'm going to do another sample Sunday. As I indicated, I'm going to try to do this till I'm out of samples. So today I've got two from Chris. Chris, a gentleman, met me and gave me a few samples. And today we're going to take a look at, this is Douglas Laing. It's a double barrel release, so there are two different single casks in here. One is from Caol, the other is from Tamdhu, so an Islay and a Speyside. Then we'll look at Springbank 12, apparently exclusive to Alberta. Only 522 bottles were ever released, a 58.1% ABV. So Springbank 12, sort of a cask strength, and Douglas Laing, double barrel. When we get back.
3, 4.
Hey, thanks for staying with me. I'm really not sure the bottle hold is what I should do. In fact, maybe I should just put in some virtual bottles so you can actually read the label and see what I'm doing. But, thanks again, Chris, and I really appreciate it. These are the 100 ml bottles. I don't know where you get them, but I get them on Amazon for $1 a bottle. They're really nice for samples because at least there's 2 grams. So this is my first taste. It's just first thoughts. It's just sharing some whiskey with you guys. I can't give it a star value. It's just not enough, but at least I get to come back to it and have a second dram. So the first is from Douglas Laing. And it's interesting with time and my whiskey journey, I've really grown an appreciation of independent bottlers, and Douglas Laing is another one of them that I really I like. Just in general, I like what they put out. I like the stories behind their whiskeys. So this is interesting. I saw a couple of these on the shelf. I don't remember seeing this specific one, the one with Caol from Islay and Tamdhu from Speyside. But I did see a few others, and each time I was like, maybe, but I never pulled the trigger. So it's fun to have a sample. Other details would be that it's bottled at 46. It's not chill filtered, and it is uncolored. So what we see is what we get. And I don't think it'll show well on the camera, but it is a very light straw color, which I think, again, if you were to pour it, you'd go, oh, must be natural color. There's really no evidence of any kind of E105 in this dram. Let's see what we get on the whiskey. Nose is smoky, very sweet, not sugar sweet, but light vanilla, light honey. Yeah, more honey. Oh, back into smoke. Yeah. So instead of honey, make it a bit of a beeswax with some smoke. Like the nose, certainly for me, expressing far more Islay than Speyside on the nose. Let's try the palate. Sláinte. A little bit oily, nice coating. Bit of spicing from that kind of peat oak side, kind of perks up in the mouth. Boy, the Speyside's being a bit overwhelmed by the Islay in this one. I'm struggling to find, some nice cut orchard fruits type that I typically get in Speyside. Instead, it's a little sweeter, gentler, oily, even a little bit of sea brine in there. Just a wisp. Gonna have another sip. Did the nose get richer? Little bit. Ah, nice dram. I sometimes, depending on the Kaolila release, it can be really smoky for me. And this has been dialed back by being, half Tamdhu Speyside. However, and there may be a little light citrus. That's nice. I was hoping for a little more fruit to balance. I like this because I like Islay Scotches. I think if you don't like Islay Scotches, I think you'll be disappointed with this. Some of the essential Speyside character that you may be hoping for is really overwhelmed by Kaolila. It tastes to me like kind of a Kaolila light, except that it's 46%. So it's still got a fair alcohol grab. I love the non-chill filter though. I like that addition. It absolutely, for me, plays in the mouth. I would buy this if it was on a good offer. Mostly because I enjoy that style of Scotch. It's nice. Yeah, not terribly complex, but you think you might get more complex when you do a blend, but it's tasty. Thanks, Chris. All right, let's clean the palate and take a look at this Springbank. Okay, taking a look at the Springbank. The Springbank here, that's a Campbelltown distillery, and this one is 58.1%. So that's why I chose to do it second. I'm quite sure it's going to wreak havoc with my palate a little bit. I'm quite sure also that this is natural color. It's probably older than that because that one has no age stamp. This one clearly says 12 years. Not sure if you can see that. But Springbank is known for, that nice non-chill filter, natural color type releases. Let's see what we get on this little sample. Yeah, very different nose in that here I'm already getting some of the fruit notes that I was missing here. Makes me think that this has spent some time in sherry, ex-sherried cask, just because that's coming up pretty quick. I don't know enough detail on this one. Yeah, this one absolutely more expressive in fruit, but right away it goes from, there's a sweetness from fruit, and then there's a leather edge of skin, edge of the cherry, edge of the apple type note. A little bit of oaking even there, really old, not quite musty, but you're getting that old oak note, which is amazing for a 12-year-old. There it is. So it's somewhere in that, almost a light peat, not so much smoke, but a light vegetable note, tiny bit of smoke, somewhere with that old wood that I suggest people talk about when they talk about a Springbank funk. But for me, it's really that interplay of all of that kind of working together. Nothing strong or powerful one way or another. Just a really rich nose that I could spend quite a bit of time in. With a slight sourness on the edge too. Yeah. Now we're going to take what I just said about all that old wood and edge of fruit and a bit of peat and then sour it a bit. Yeah, it's a significantly interesting nose. I was going to say better, but interesting nose. In comparison, this has moved wildly into smoke and light lemon. Yeah. Wow. So, these were never, I compare them because they're in front of me, but very different nose in that this is deeper, richer, has more fruit, but also has a few other edges going to it. All right, I better get into it. Slaja. In the palate, even moving it around, I was a little bit struck with where is the 58.1. Very coating. Nice. Still on that darker edge of any of those flavors. If you're picking up spice, I'd suggest they're going to be more in that baking. You know, that clove nutmeg, not the bright cinnamon or light. We're talking the deeper cooked down spice. The 58 though came up in the early finish. It started to kind of bite my palate. I felt that alcohol bite. And the nose has moved into a... There. Opening the mouth actually helped, because I was going to say it's really moving into a bit of almost a musty note, and I didn't like that. But a little more air in it has helped. Tasty. I want to get a few more flavors out of his sample bottle came with a droplet, so I'm gonna just put a few drops of water in here, just to see if it'll. Oh, now there's probably a bit of water in my sample, but oh well. Just to see if it will open up a little bit. The palate for me is a little tight. Nose, really cool. Loving the nose. Palate's just a little, it's tasty, but it's really, even though I've moved it around, it feels like it's really exciting the inside of my tongue and biting the outside. Huh, interesting. Yeah, maybe a bit more light oak on the nose, maybe. Try the palate. Oh, that's really good. Really good. Now there is a little bit of cinnamon, like, so the spices are broader and more accessible. Oh yeah, got a little bit more malt character, like good malt character. I haven't lost. If anything, I've added almost not quite a cherry, but a black currant maybe would be that. Yeah, a little darker fruit. Oh yeah. Woo. Okay, so if you happen to have a Caskstrength Springbank, don't be afraid to put some water in it. I can still see the coating. You know, the legs are still on the glass. It hasn't washed away, but it has really perked up that palate. Now these are just tastes, and it sure is fun when we can exchange samples. I appreciate everybody. Thank you, Chris, again for meeting me and thank you for giving me the 2 gram size. I really like at least the 100 ml bottles. It's just a little more fun because, you know, I can do this with you guys, and then I can, you know, maybe compare it or have another sip. Thanks for joining me. I hope you guys have had a great weekend and that the work week looks okay. I've been rejuvenated, had a great day with family yesterday, and family meant just my son came home. Don't have a big family, but the 4 of us were able to actually put up our tree together and play some music and eat some traditional foods. My wife is Dutch, and so it was St. Nick Day, and so we had croquettes and spinach and all of those good things. So, hey, I'm just wishing you goodwill. I hope you have a fantastic week. See you next time.